What's going on, guys? Summer came way too quick. I had to put all my air conditioners in, and now I'm dreading that electric bill. But also,
I hear that
means that we're getting ever so closer to the wonderful, glorious football season.
So, Colin, Sean, did you guys get together for Memorial Day or the summer or anything this weekend?
No, me and Colin didn't see each other, but I went over to my in-laws' house and drank a bunch of beer.
That's what I did too.
Drank a lot of beer and then went to sleep. It was fun.
You hanging out, Colin? You on the line there, dude?
Yeah, I kind of wish I had in-laws now so I could go somewhere and drink beer all day. I went to my girlfriend's friend's place. It was pretty close. I drank a lot of beer, despite being the DD, but you know what? We keep it safe here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, drinking responsibly.
Hey, if I would have been pulled over, they would have told me, hey, great job DDing. Now see yourself home.
Exactly. Hey, Colin, do you buy stuff online?
Yes, I do sometimes.
All right, you ever heard of cryptocurrency?
Oh, I have not. Would you tell me about it?
Well, yes, most definitely I will. You need to get online and get hooked up. You know what? The link is way too long, so you need to go to the description that we're going to have in our audio and online so that you can check it out right there on your screen. Or if you're listening to us on the audio podcast, click that link and learn more about how cryptocurrency is taking over. Now that is over and we got that business out over, let's get right into our LA Breakdown.
All right. Walter Thurmond retiring after 6 years in the NFL at age 28. Now, Walter Thurmond, best known, I'd say, for his time with the Seattle Seahawks. He got the ring there.
Yeah, definitely.
He was part of that Legion of Boom.
Yeah, he was like the other guy.
he was the other guy, but, he was a consistent other guy.
Oh, definitely. But, everybody was more concerned with Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor. And,
there were bigger names.
And Earl Thomas.
Yeah, Earl Thomas.
Earl Thomas is that was the guy I kind of figured.
And Byron Maxwell.
Basically, fifth man of the year.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Sixth man of the year, NBA style. Yeah,
exactly.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Comparatively.
But according to Connor Orr over at NFL.com, the Eagles have known about Thurman's plans for months. Rappaport, he also reported in March that Thurman had turned down offers of $4 million per year from different teams. Now, what do you guys think about this? Why is he leaving so early? Now, he said something along the lines of he doesn't think he can play the game as well as he could due to his injuries. And he's just really, he feels that he's made enough money and he's just ready to hang up the cleats. I'll tell you what he wants to get into, but what do you guys think about him hanging up the cleats?
It kind of sucks when you see, it seems to be like a common thing now in the NFL. You hear about it more often than not, where, it's become something that's kind of prevalent now is players retiring before they're 30. He's only 28.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's younger than I am. So, it sucks that he's gone because he did make some plays there for the Eagles. He played safety and
he was great back there last year.
Yeah,
that was one of his best years.
Yeah,
there's no doubt.
He was playing across there from Malcolm Jenkins, and they were a pretty good tandem there in the Eagles secondary. So, kind of sucks to see him go.
Well, I guess that's why Andrew, you said that the Eagles have known for a couple months of his intentions. That explains a lot about the huge McLeod contract that the Eagles gave, Rodney coming out of St. Louis. Considering a lot of Eagles fans, me included, wanted to see the same safety tandem come back because they played rather well despite the lackluster overall secondary numbers for the Eagles defense last year. Most Eagles fans will tell you that the safeties played well, and Walter Thurmond was a big part of that. But
yeah, he definitely was.
It seems like he wants to get into some type of film type deal. He's overseen the production of 2 documentary films, and he's also written a project. So he's thinking about pursuing a career in film. That would be interesting.
Well, yeah, that's think about all the hardships and follow-ups, surgeries after football once you're done, and he's realizing that he wants to hang up the cleats while he can still do what he wants to do. These days, we have more Renaissance people than than we think. We want to aspire to do many things in this time. Good for him. He
got to live out his dream, won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, went out of, if he's like, hey, I never thought I was gonna win a Super Bowl, so maybe I can get a movie that I created out there to the masses, and people are gonna enjoy that. So, and not only that, I can say from experience, just from performing and things, it's a lot less stressful on the body than going out there getting hit by really strong people.
Speaking of the Eagles defense, go out and check my new article. It's up at thevoiceofbedlam.com on the Eagles defense. Right. All Eagles fans, you should go check it out, see what I'm projecting and what I see for the Eagles defense with Jim Schwartz there at the helm.
Absolutely.
That article got me giddy.
Now, I know, like, I hate the Eagles, but Sean did a real good job on the article, so you guys got to go over there to voiceofbedlam.com, check it out, and check out everything else. John, why don't you tell everybody about our next sponsors?
Our next sponsor is Audible. All right, Audible is the best way to, listen to audiobooks, interesting movies and things. If you go to audibletrial.com, you get to try Audible free for 30 days, okay? And they have a large selection, people. And I'm a Stephen King fan, and sometimes it's hard. It's hard to keep with his pace sometimes. So I rely on Audible to keep me at a decent pace without losing my mind.
There you go. Now,
although I love his writing.
That's audibletrial.com, audibletrial.com. All right, now next up in today's Daily Breakdown, the NFL is moving the Pro Bowl from Hawaii to Orlando in 2017. The 2017 Pro Bowl will be played in Orlando, as I just said now, but this is going to be a multi-year deal, according to Rappaport. The NFL has been tinkering with the Pro Bowl in the past, and they got these celebrity ex-player coaches. Now, I kind of thought it was cool. The year
whole Irvin and Jerry
the
Rice
first time
thing.
It was fun, but
it's kind of cool.
They're going to go back.
It's kind of like fantasy football.
Yeah, but they're getting rid of it.
Yeah,
last year, I watched some of the draft. I'm not going to lie, but I watched some of the draft last year, and it wasn't nearly, not that it was that cool the first time, but it wasn't nearly as cool. I felt like I was watching something on NFL Classic or whatever from 1995. It just didn't even look. It just looked so cheap. But they're getting rid of that, going back to AFC, NFC. I mean, they have been moving it around. Normally, it was always at Aloha Stadium out in Hawaii. But I mean, the owners don't really want to have the Pro Bowl. They say the players don't try. It has gotten a little bit better, but I can remember a couple years ago, I forget who it was, it looked like they were going through walkthroughs, dude. Half speed, two-hand touch, in pads. It was ridiculous.
The Pro
Bowl, you know what,
it's not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be this big thing, but nobody
wants to get hurt.
Nobody, not only that, but
there's something about I forget if it was in the Pro Bowl or
watches the Pro Bowl.
But you know what?
Other All-Star
every other sports All-Star weekend is dope.
Does it?
All right, every other sports All-Star weekend is dope.
Yeah, but
all right,
NFL.
You go to the NHL. They have skill challenges, right?
Which football?
Do you remember? All right, it might be too much for some of us. I don't know. The quarterback club.
I want to see that. I want to see the skills competitions there.
Do you remember that, Colin? The quarterback club?
I don't. I remember a quarterback club football starring Brett Favre for N64. Right?
Yes, that was the video game that
I remember that one.
It was a skills challenge where all the top quarterbacks, ran. It was like Warren Moon era, so you had to run agility things, you had to throw through the tires, and then you had the chalked balls, and you had to hit your target that was moving.
Isn't it like a glamorized, imagine the NFL Combine?
Exactly.
Yes.
With NFL stars.
But now you take that.
The Combine gets such good ratings as it is. The NFL would be geniuses to go to that kind of setup for their All-Star
Especially
weekend. I
if they
think.
really made it like a week long or 3 days long.
This is what I was
Definitely.
what I was about to say is if the NFL decided, I mean, the way I see the Super Bowl, or sorry, the Pro Bowl being moved to Orlando is kind of like it's a business.
Oh, it's way cheaper.
It's definitely a business move because not everyone
it's
can afford
really
to fly
expensive
to
to fly
Hawaii
everything out to Hawaii.
to go see the Pro
Hawaii.
Bowl. And if they decided to add skill competitions and make it a big thing the way they do in baseball and basketball and hockey, I mean, maybe they'll get more. It'll generate more of a hype for the Pro Bowl because the Pro Bowl is not really, maybe it gets a lot of viewers, I guess, like you were saying, but the Pro Bowl is, as far as the four major sports, it's definitely by far the least
entertaining.
Yeah, no one really cares about the Pro Bowl.
But getting back to what you were saying about the money, it's not only that. The owners don't want to play it because it's too expensive to fly all these dudes out. And they got to fly out their family.
Expensive.
It's a free vacation for them, basically.
Well, not only that,
that's why the players want it.
People like the four of us it'd be a lot more affordable
the seats
to
are
fly
empty.
to Orlando
It's
than to fly to Hawaii. Do you know how much a round trip to Hawaii costs?
Absolutely. And so, I mean, and you look at it, what's his name? The Bengals tight end.
Eifert?
Yeah,
Tyler
I mean,
Eifert.
what did he tear his ACL or something? What did he do in the Pro Bowl last year? I know he's still injured.
He's getting
right
ankle
now.
surgery.
Yeah,
he's getting ankle
So he didn't
surgery.
tear his ACL,
Yeah,
but
yeah, he got
he's
hurt pretty
questionable
good.
for the season, or for the beginning of the season. And
For the beginning of the
possibly
season,
longer.
yeah.
And they said,
Yeah.
and possibly longer. I mean, they were playing it in Arizona, going back and forth, but it's going to be in Orlando for a little bit now. And I don't know. I think this is going to really come up at the next CBA. I think the next CBA is in 5 years, and because they just. The owners aren't happy with it. You got too many people who aren't playing. Like, it's not the big name guys. Like who were the quarterbacks in it this year? Wasn't like Jameis Winston in it this year and stuff like that?
I don't
like,
know,
It was
man.
ridiculous.
I didn't
like,
watch the Pro Bowl.
everybody-
Yeah, I didn't watch it either.
Yeah, I know. I didn't watch it either. Everybody passes on it, and you get like this C squad of like.
I always try to watch the home run derby and the
And then the
baseball
guys in the Super Bowl
all-star
can't even
game.
play.
So if they had a skills competition, is going back to what we were talking about before. If they had a skills competition for the Pro Bowl, I would definitely tune in because I want to see
Yeah, me
stuff
too.
like that.
You know, it's
The skills competition of the NHL and the NBA are
awesome.
such quality
Yeah,
television.
It's
It's
all
awesome.
contest.
Exactly.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying, and that's what the
Three-point
NFL is
Skills
missing out on.
contest.
That's what the NFL is
slap
missing
shot,
out on.
fastest slap shot. I'll watch a slap shot go really fast. That's literally all it is in hockey. I don't care. It's
And all you're
exciting.
doing is watching, a baseball player get, a slow pitch and
And hit
cream
it,
in
and
the
hit
ball.
it 500 feet.
But it's cool.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's
entertaining to
brilliant.
watch.
Yeah, exactly.
I
You know,
want to
so,
see that
you know-
with football. We're missing that with football, and we need it.
And I want to
Exactly.
see.
How about
like-
just the longest throw competition?
There you
Give
go.
Michael
That's
Vick
a good- that's another good idea.
and throw it over the stadium.
You know what? Speaking of,
Like in that, the John
Pro Bowl
Elway commercial?
taking itself
Yeah.
away from Hawaii, why don't you take yourselves to Mexico on an all-inclusive getaway with our friends Angels Friendly Getaways?
AngelsFriendlyGetaways.com.
Yes, and also understand that the proceeds to raising the donations for the Autism Speaks is going. Think about it. You're going to donate,
And
and,
you
then
can
you could win a trip to Mexico. So
All
it's a
inclusive.
win-win situation, and you can get that win-win situation at AngelsFriendlyGetaways.com.
Awesome. All right. But now we're going to get into a little bit here on the Raiders. Now, I guess there was a lot of chippiness going on with the Raiders. 3 fights broke out. And I guess they enjoyed the long weekend or were fired up watching the Warriors close one out last night, Jack Del Rio said. And now that's he was saying that's a CSM Bay area. He's just saying, I don't know what's going on. But there was 3 fights. Now, 2 of them were more, and this is OTAs, 2 of them were more shoving matches than anything else, and but the big title fight was free agent offensive lineman. I'm not even gonna.
Kaliki Asamele.
Melee?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna. I don't even know, but apparently that was the one where they came to blows with the second round pick. Now,
Jihad Ward.
yeah, they both were knocking each other around pretty good from what everybody's saying.
Honestly, the Panthers had this same type of situation with the Cam Newton and Josh Norman scuffle. So you know what? And you know what happened with those Carolina Panthers? I believe they made it to the Super Bowl. So you know what? To see that fighting mentality,
I'll give you that. You're yelling at me because I want rougher practices.
Hey.
That's the same thing as me saying you're like, you know what? I like a little chippiness. That's what I'm saying, and you're.
I like a little bit of chippiness, but honestly, right now they're trying to fight to get on a team that's becoming very relevant.
When tempers are high, that means there's passion, there's conviction in what you're doing. That's the way I see it. So
not only that, they're fighting for a job.
Yeah, so it means you want to be on the team, you want to play football. No one wants to see their teammates fighting. Like if I'm an Eagles fan, I see two Eagles teammates fighting each other, it's not going to necessarily be something I want to happen, but at the same time, you can spin it a different way and see it as a good thing. And that passion, I want to see it brought to the field come game day.
I kind of like seeing it. I like seeing it.
As long
as they hug and make up.
Teammates fighting is never a good thing in the locker room, but that fire, that passion, keep that, bottle that up, and bring it out to the field on game day.
Now, before we get back into this, I think we're going to have to let Colin go. Now, Colin, you got to tell me before you get out of here, what is so important that you're bailing on us?
Is this the promo plug? Hey, if you're listening to this in Philadelphia, the nonprofit organization that I work for, the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society, is having a grand opening ceremony of our annual pop-up beer gardens in Philadelphia. So right now, all the employees are there. We're hanging out, and basically, I've got a date. I have to go meet my girlfriend now after I already did the work ceremony, but all employees are expected to go and join in and help bring people out. But if you are listening to this and you live in Philadelphia, we have 2 beer gardens that are going to be operating 7 days a week. 15th and South Street and 10th and Hamilton in Philadelphia. We hope to see you guys all out there.
All right, Colin, dude. We'll catch you later, man.
Thanks, brother.
See you later, Colin.
Dude. All right, now basically getting back to the Raiders and all the scuffles, the way Del Rio saw it, he said, I think it's a great opportunity to teach. Today, there was some spat going on, which really aren't part of what we do. That's not how we work or how we have respect for each other. In most every case, it was a new guy. I take it upon myself to let the guys who weren't here know that the Raiders know how the Raiders are supposed to look.
Yeah, and they need to. He's going to model to them what the Raider way is, and that Raider way, that just win mentality. Everyone, misinterprets that as like the openness to become the goon squad. But the Raiders, they take a lot of pride in their organization and the prestige that came with years of being in the league.
Yes. Now, Sean, you got anything else on this? You spoke on this already. So, John, what else you got for us on the Raiders?
I got I just wanted to address a certain statement that I made about these up and coming Raiders becoming the AFC representative in the Super Bowl against my Carolina Panthers.
I think they'll get far, but I don't think they'll get that.
And the fullback
Super Bowl, but
fullback Marcel Reese now I think he says he's feeling it. He's feeling himself and he's feeling his team. All right, and it's funny because that's a weird transition after we just talked about how they're scuffling on the field, but we talked about it in the last podcast about how sometimes that little chippiness is what a team needs to keep themselves sharp for the game. But he's going on and I'm quoting him now from Paul Giertes of ESPN.com. Now he's quoted in saying everybody really believes, everybody knows this is different. Everything is different, even from last year. All right. So, that ends the quote there. But he also went on to say that everyone saw a lot of growth last year, but right now, the state of this team is unbelievable. Something that I personally have never been around and only dreamed of. So it's fun being around the young guys who are keeping me young, and it's just fun. Football's fun again, end quote. So that's what he's feeling. But, you know, also, he likes to have a little bit too much fun because, remember, he's still serving 3 more games of a 4-game suspension, which he's hoping it gets overturned. But that was for performance-enhancing substances. But he's also, he made a couple jokes as well. I don't know if you guys are up with the pop culture. Have you ever heard about the put the respect on my name?
Nah.
You haven't heard? Okay. So just to fill you in on what's going on the internet, everybody's making fun of Birdman. Remember Birdman?
I remember Birdman.
All right. Well, Birdman got insulted by the Breakfast Club,
Pop.
which is a popular, show. So shout out to them, I guess. But they Charlemagne, who the God, pissed off him, and he came unannounced to the show, and he was like, "You gonna put respect on my name? You ain't gonna be walking around talking like that, and you gonna put respect on my name."
Yeah, I got you.
So everybody, anytime they feel disrespected or they're just being ridiculous, they'll say, "Put respect on my name."
All right.
So he went on to quote himself and say that I'm kind of at peace with the situation as it is now, but at the same time want to get some sort of vindication. And as the young kids say, respect on my name. End quote. And I figured that was kind of funny, but also just to solidify that point that I've been trying to say. Like, everybody, I'm gonna make it honest. There's about 5 more spots on the bandwagon, so if you want to jump on board and join
That
me,
bandwagon's gonna get a little bit bigger.
it's gonna get a lot big. Oh man, I can
I
feel
don't
the
think they're going
train.
to the Super
That
Bowl, but I
Raiders
think the
bandwagon?
Raiders.
I think it's gonna be the Super Bowl year. Raiders,
You gotta
Panthers,
keep an eye
and
on
then it
them.
forces
I
the
don't see
Panthers to
them
wear
going
that
to the Super Bowl, though.
beautiful blue and black.
Now, John, I just got to say something real quick, right? Now,
Go for it.
They can't see what we see, but we're sitting here. I got 3 computer screens in front of me, and we got like 2 laptops, tablets, the whole 9 yards. You come in with handwritten pieces of paper, and you're
I do
holding
that
them
too, man.
19 feet away from your face like you're 70 years old. Your eyes doing okay, man?
I'm doing all right because I just didn't want to lose this from my face.
Josh Norman.
Well, this is but that's
Yeah.
coming from a guy who what was it last week? Was possessed by like a 75-year-old man or whatever.
Oh no! I like my old school things. There's nothing wrong with the old school
Yeah,
things.
but
that I like.
you're obviously 75 years old, right, John?
Yeah, I'm pushing 76 next
Well,
year.
when we're talking about old
No, I'm
things,
talking about Andrew.
Yeah, I think we're all old.
When we're talking about old things, my
but
favorite-
honestly, I like my trusty paper because you know why? It's my
I
handwriting.
do it too. I come in here with
'cause most of-
handwritten pieces of paper.
Like I want to start maybe like doing like independent bids and stuff from all my notes that I do from like writing and stuff, and it's like, hey, now you can bid on the wonderful notes that
when
I
you
take.
say
See, look,
bid, you mean you're gonna
see, look, I even have like the next segment for the Cowboys, and I tried to draw stars, guys. It's kind of funny.
So what do you mean?
You can't
You're
do
gonna
that
sell
with your
them on
laptop.
eBay? You're gonna sell them on eBay? I
Yeah.
can change font size on my laptop. But see,
I'm just messing.
one of my favorite, more antique type of items is a 57 Gibson Les Paul, which is going to bring us in to our next ad, which is a Breezy Insane LLC. As an independent musician, when you're out there,
It costs a
slaying
lot
it
of money.
on your 57 Les
you're-
Paul.
when you're
there's
shredding.
there's many.
When you're slamming the
struggles.
skins.
Yep. Them drums of thunder. When you're on the road or in the studio, there's a lot of struggles. Over at Breezy Insane LLC, they aim to make independent musicians' lives easier. They provide access to worldwide promotional services with state-of-the-art marketing technologies to boost your music to new audience. They also provide a mass CD production for all their clients at no additional cost. If you are interested in amazing legal coverage, beauty products, or even roadside assistance, they have partner companies ready to help all over the place. You give them a call, and they're basically going to bail you out of whatever jam you're in when you're on the road. Focus on the music and let them take care of the challenges on on the road. Now we're going to keep things rolling right over and tell you guys, according to Fox Sports, next story of our daily breakdown, Denver Broncos wide receiver Cody Latimer reported to police that he was a victim of domestic violence at the hands of his girlfriend, and he still ended up getting arrested.
Wow. That, see, that's where the double standard, I think, is definitely has to be brought up, because yes, the argument is that most domestic cases where a woman says that they've been abused, I think, if I'm not mistaken, around 80%, it comes out to be 80% were factual. So but when it comes to the other side, when because he's got everything to lose. He watched, Ray Rice lose his entire career and never get to play football again, and now he sees Greg Hardy, basically sort of play last year, and then now being, on his bended knee, in a sense. Shout out to the Philly boy over there, for your boys, the men drop there. So he's on bended knee, begging and pleading to get on to a team.
Back around the world.
Motown Philly's going on, da-na-na-na-na-na-na, but they will not get a Super Bowl. Oh.
All right, well, according to Andre Vergara, Latimer called the sheriff office in the early hours of Monday morning to report that his girlfriend, Jamie Rando, put her hands on him, quote, during a dispute. However, while the investigation was going on, the sheriff office discovered Latimer had a warrant for his arrest on an outstanding traffic ticket. Latimer was booked Monday night and released Tuesday after paying a fine. The woman was arrested and is pending charges of assault. So
disturbing the peace.
And he actually bailed her out. He bailed her out on Tuesday. So she actually did get arrested. So I guess it wasn't a little...
Well, then, that was his fault then.
served.
All right, so justice was served correctly there. You're an idiot. Pay your parking ticket, you would have walked away like, yeah, you going to jail. And then, they were
crap.
like,
I forgot about that one time I parked in the yellow next to a stop sign.
Yep, and it's like, sir, you're going with us, sir.
Yeah, all right. Well, he was a second-round pick out of Indiana. He played most of his times on special teams in his 2 seasons with Denver. He has only 82 yards off 8 catches in his career. All right.
Is that even news?
But I'll tell you what is some news.
Mr.
Watt.
J.J. Watt.
Mr. Turned Down for what?
Turned down for what?
Turned down for what?
He says that he's going to be returning sooner rather than later. Now, he told the Houston Chronicle, I feel really good. As soon as I'm allowed, I'll be out there.
He was working out almost like a week after the surgery.
Oh, I was just going to get to that, dude. Dude, I mean, you seeing the pictures. This dude's tweeting out like he is in complete shape still.
Yo,
like,
dude, I saw him jacked up on Instagram, man.
He doesn't look like he's going to have any problem. Speaking of Instagram, the Voice of Bedlam's also on Instagram.
Yes.
And
That it is.
We're on everything except MySpace, and I might just go create us a MySpace page. Bring in MySpace.
Circa 2006.
All right, but he said he's going to be out there as soon as they let him. Getting back into a quote here, you guys know me well enough to know that it's not up to me, but I think if it was up to him, he'd be back, but he thinks he'll be back soon. All right, now this is stemming from a groin injury from an AFC wildcard loss to the Chiefs in January. Now, with the Houston's, revolving door at quarterback, like, they really could have made some noise. I mean, if they had an actual quarterback, if Brock Osweiler can play, man.
Check out my article.
If he can play, I'm not saying he can. I don't know if he can.
I'm not saying he
if
can
he can
either.
play,
He's got a big chance
Houston's gonna be
to
a
prove
force to be
himself.
reckoned with, even without Arian Foster, who is still
We'll have to
a free
see.
agent.
What to say?
All right, now, Watt, during the off season, he's been keeping real busy. He's got his new Reebok logo, and he's at them charity games, knocking softballs out the park. So I think if he says he's going to be back, he's being this active. He looks to be in shape. He's just got that charisma to him, like a slight bit of arrogance, but not too much. Like I like it. I like, you know what I mean?
JJ Watt, he's the poster boy for the NFL right now.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yep.
He's a good guy.
But
he's a
guys,
great player.
I think maybe he'll be back.
He'll be back. He'll be back soon. He'll be out. But also, speaking of injuries, the Cowboys had their little bad spell with some injury. Third-round pick Malik Collins broke his foot. He's the rookie defensive tackle, and he'll be out at least the end of training camp. Yeah, he suffered that right foot injury during the OTAs last week, and hopefully, he gets to come back. But it's a tentatively 12-week recovery timetable for his return. And we'll have to see. But with the DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory both facing a suspension, the Cowboys will have
they're
to
really
make
getting
some,
down. They're getting down the depth chart a little bit now. You're running into names like David Irving, Tyrone Crawford, Cedric Thornton, and Ryan Russell. I mean, that's what their D line's looking like. And I mean, the Cowboys were really trying to fix that defense for a while, and it's kind of getting scary for them guys.
It's getting sketchy.
It is pretty sketchy, but at least for those Cowboys, they did sign Dak Prescott, and they did sign Charles Tapper to their rookie deals, and which it kind of brings me to a question that I have for you guys.
I think I was just going to ask the same question, but
it's actually a two-part question. I intercepted your question in midair. See,
football, I get it.
Mental aside, yep. Football talk, football reference. There we go. All right, so amongst the battle in Dallas, it's going to be Prescott versus Kellen Moore. Who's going to win that battle for the number 2 slot? And 2, my second question is, how long is Tony Romo going to last this season before the number 2 becomes the number 1?
I'm going to tell you, I think the number 2 only becomes the number 1 if Romo goes down with injury. That's this year.
Yeah, he's going to
following year.
Yeah, so what week is he going to go down?
Oh, I thought you were saying like
what week does he go?
Does he go down? But I mean, Romo gets injured and comes back a lot though too.
Yeah, exactly. So what week does he go down the first time, and then the number 2 becomes the number 1?
Everybody praises the Cowboys' offensive line.
That back injury that
chronic
that's been bothering him for at least a few years.
I think
now.
that was he got that from that Jessica Simpson hex at that Giants game.
Yeah,
she was wearing that pink number 9 jersey.
So then, who's the number 2 then?
I don't know. I'm gonna hope Prescott can knock it out. I mean, he ran into some off the field trouble when he got that DUI before the draft. But I mean, of course, Jerry Jones, not that I don't have a problem with DUI, but I'm not saying the man shouldn't play football. But I mean, if he's signed in people like Randy,
Greg Hardy.
Greg Hardy, thank you.
Yeah.
Greg Hardy. I mean, I don't think he has any problem with a.
He let Michael Irvin come back after his cocaine binge.
Yeah, you gotta love that time period of football.
What? I'm just saying, like
it was a more interesting time in football.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Dak can be that second.
I'm
second string.
I'm gonna say I think he'll win it out. I do think he may be the heir apparent to Tony Romo's throne, but I don't think he's going to get it this year unless Romo gets injured. I don't think there's.
I think he might be starting by week 6.
What if Tony Romo
due to injury?
What if Tony Romo
due to injury?
Maybe.
Yeah, he'll start.
Regression from Tony Romo though.
But why? Because he's coming back off of injury.
He's getting banged
older.
up.
I mean, it happens. It happens to a lot of quarterbacks.
I compare him a lot to Eli because I keep Eli and Romo. If I was ranking the quarterbacks, you know what I mean, I would give a slight edge to Eli even if he didn't have the 2 Super Bowls. But I mean, if I saw Eli as the 8th best quarterback in the league, I'd see Romo at 9. That's honestly how I see it. And I think Eli's going to have
during regular season, yes.
I think Eli's going to have a phenomenal year. And I just like to compare the two because, I mean, the Giants run at least last year and under McAdoo, they run the second most 3 wide or more formations. All right, and then they
Yeah,
also
but
like the little short passes, and the Cowboys are like that too. I mean, he's got Des Bryant out there. He's got what's his name, Beasley, and,
Cole Beasley.
Terrence
and
Williams.
then Williams. They can kind of do the same thing, and they got some running backs back there. I think Tony Romo is going to have a good year.
Could stay on his feet a
Just
little bit
like
more this
for
year.
similar reasons, I think Eli is going to have a good year. But Romo's got an offensive line, and the right side of Giants line. Whoo! Marshall Newhouse, John Jerry.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of names.
Yeah.
That right side of the line is questionable, and let's be honest here, that left side of the line is questionable too. And Dallas has got that all figured out, and that's the reason why, as of now, I'm rooting for the Giants. I want the Giants to go 16-0. But from an honest standpoint, I give the Cowboys the edge in the division pretty much for that. I do think the Giants will make the playoffs, but right now, if it power rankings, I have to see the Cowboys a little bit higher. 'cause
Yeah,
Milan.
I see it too. I mean, they're pretty scary on paper, and with that offensive line, with those running backs, with obviously Des Bryant coming back healthy, it sets it up for Tony Romo to stay on his feet more often than
and
not.
then not get injured by week 6.
This year, yeah.
But I mean, there is
He's
a good
gonna
chance.
have-
If he gets injured, it's all different. I'm saying based on health, I think Tony Romo
Well, then who
got a nice
So Dak
season.
Prescott comes in if Tony Romo gets hurt. What if it's week 1?
All right,
or
well-
what if it's
oh.
or what if it's
If it's
what
week
if the-
1, it's
what
not
if
gonna be
what if the
Prescott.
Cowboys win the division and then the division round of the playoffs, or even the second round of the playoffs, even the
and
the
Romo goes down?
yeah, and
Well,
Romo
that's way
Romo goes
too
down.
early to tell. That's what they will know by that time. If it happened that late, they'd know without a shadow of a doubt who their number 2 was. I believe.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But-
I meant wild card and divisional. I said divisional first, but you know what I meant.
I don't know. So I think by that time they would know who it was. And a lot of time these rookies, just like Ryan Nassib when he came into the Giants, he couldn't pick up the playbook. We got a different offensive coordinator now, twice. But so who knows if he's going to hit that rookie wall as a quarterback? I don't know. How complex is the system in Dallas? Like, I don't really know much. Do you guys know much
Well,
about?
I think they're going to go back to. Sorry, John, but I think they're going to go back to that run-first offense that helped them win the division.
Which is a little bit more quarterback friendly.
Exactly.
And they did say they're going to rely on the running backs to
Well, yeah, that's why they
prolong the health
they
of
signed
Romo.
they signed Alfred Morris. They drafted Ezekiel Elliott. They're going back to what helped them win the division 2 years ago. They did it on the back of DeMarco Murray
Why not?
2 years ago. So why not try it again? They got the
Indeed.
line to do it.
And I think that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to, this is going to be the year of the return of the running backs. And
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you guys. Go ahead.
okay.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys last week. I wanted it to be the 4-minute hut. But real quick, with you saying that, I think football, goes left and right. All we're talking about is 3 wide, nickel, dime. Everybody's got to be fast and lean and run routes. Is the running game going to come back because defense is so oriented that way and people are expecting pass first? Is more running teams going to come out? I mean, the Browns are going to saying they're going to be run heavy. The Cowboys are saying they're going to be run heavy. I'm hearing a lot of reports. Tennessee going to be run heavy. Like, is the running game coming back?
most definitely. There's at least, you just named 4 teams that are going to have.
They're all kind of crappy teams, though.
But, Adrian Peterson helped the Vikings
Minnesota's
clinch their
definitely
division,
run first offense, yeah.
And now they got some, supporting pieces with, Laquan Treadwell catching the ball with Teddy, and Teddy himself can get some yards himself. So the running game kind of got sucked in with these mobile quarterbacks, but now it's going to be more individualized out to these running backs, and
like get more backs in the 80s.
Look at Ezekiel Elliott. When was the last time a running back was taken?
What's his name?
4th overall.
The Browns.
what?
Trent Richardson. All right, yeah.
Once you become one-dimensional, you
Exactly.
can't
garbage.
compete. Because once you become one-dimensional and you're only passing the ball, you're limiting yourself of ways to move the ball down the field.
Play
and-
action is the way to go. And
Exactly.
to
But you need a
have
good running game in order for
That's
play
That's what
action
I was
to work.
getting to. That's what I was getting to. Play action is predicated on the threat of a guy in the backfield that might take the ball 80 yards for a score. And guys like Adrian Peterson's he's aged, but you're talking about Ezekiel Elliott, Todd Gurley, Devontae Freeman last year. There are some stud running backs in the league right now, and what good are you doing your team if you're not going to go off, you're not going to use the talents of your running back?
Now, I'm going to go a little off topic here, but talking about the play action, I think one of the more underrated quarterbacks, not the most underrated quarterback, I think Boomer Esiason, right? And the reason why I'm bringing him up, he was great at that play action.
Yeah, he
would get down so low behind that line, you had no idea where he was. And that's why it was such a big threat, and that's what really, I think, helped them get to the Super Bowl against the Niners. The defense, of course. That was the number one defense. But, that was a close game. That was a close game. Montana, that's the game with the John Candy story, where Montana, I don't remember the exact things, but Montana's trying to orchestrate the comeback because Esiason just took him down the field. And everybody's expecting this big, end of the movie speech from Montana, and he just looks up and goes, "Oh, hey, look over there. John Candy's in the crowd." It's 45 seconds left in the Super Bowl, down by 4, and he's talking about how there's celebrities in the crowd. But I don't know, just talking about play action, I got to say, Boomer had one of the best play actions in my era of quarterback.
You know what's also becoming one of the best? Our website, gentlemen.
Absolutely.
We are pumping out original content for all you people out there. So make sure you get yourself over to voiceofbedlam.com and check out the videos, check out the audio, check out our articles, and make sure you share them with some friends.
Absolutely. So that'll get us right into our next segment as we close up the daily breakdown into the article spotlight. Now, the article spotlight's on one of my articles tonight titled Navy QB Reynolds Dives into the NFL. The U.S. Secretary of Defense Ashton Carter on Friday publicly announced that Keenan Reynolds, a Naval Academy graduate, will be allowed to defer his military service to pursue the NFL. The former Navy QB will most likely be lined up at wide receiver and kick returner when he's dressed with the Ravens. Now, he was a 6th-round pick. He was a 6th-round pick to the Ravens, and the Naval Academy is right. I think it's 30 miles or so from the Ravens
in Maryland.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and the Ravens took a gamble when they drafted him because, the Secretary of Defense, he doesn't exactly have to let this go on, But, it was a 6th-round pick. He's a real dynamic runner, all right? He got, I gotta find the numbers. I have the numbers in the article. He had a lot of touchdowns. Here it is. He stacked up 119 total scores in his 4 seasons at Navy.
That's a lot.
31 throwing, 88 running TDs. The Ravens are saying they might even be lining him up at running back. Now remember, he's a 6th-round pick. I'm gonna have to go and compare him to the quarterback that came out of the Michigan Wolverines, plays for the Jaguars, wide receiver. He was on the cover of
Robinson?
Yeah, Denard Robinson on the cover of the last NCAA.
Yeah.
Kind of the same feel. I think he went in the 6th round also, converted.
Could do a lot of things.
Kind of a watered down Cordell Stewart.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what they're looking at him for, and they're definitely going to have him on some special teams. But I got a great article up on him, up at the site. As I said, it is a Navy quarterback, Reynolds, dives in to the NFL. Now you can get that at voiceofbedlam.com. It's all over Facebook at facebook.com/VOBpod, up on the Twitter accounts. All of us, I guess the official one for the show is probably mine, at Andrew Bedlam. So hit us up over there, but everybody's got Twitters. And check everything out. Now, with the last 15 minutes or so, we're going to kind of get away from the NFL a bit and talk about this crazy outroar.
Gorilla Gate.
Gorilla Gate. Yeah, I like this.
All right, so that's going to be today's...
4-minute hut.
Or what?
4-minute hut.
1 minute, what?
All right. Okay.
Social edition.
John's the one that wanted to do this. Now, I know Colin, who's not on the phone with us anymore, disagreed with whatever your opinion.
Yeah.
What is your opinion?
My opinion was that, you know, the way that I saw the video, it looked like the child was not in any immediate danger, you know, where they could
I don't
have.
know, dude. If my kid's in the gorilla arms, like my kid is.
Did you see the video though?
He
got drugged through the water, and then you know what? And then the gorilla sat him up.
I will kill a dog if it sniffs my baby too hard.
See, and I think that's also, you know, part of our society's issue. We're jumping to the trigger real quick to solve all the issues, but
when it comes to
but when it comes to anything, you know, that's what I'm attributing to it. You know, a life is a life. You know, and you know
maybe
what?
A dolphin's worth as much
honestly,
as a gorilla,
if the parent, you know, cared more about their child's life, they would have had, you know, stricter supervision on their child. Because if you take a good look at how that exhibit is set up, that child had to crawl through the gate, through bushes, and then down that wall into the water. Okay? So what, as a parent, and not only that, let me preface with the fact that multiple patrons from the zoo stated that the kid was saying, I want to get in the water.
But they were
I want to get
him,
in the water.
They were telling him, the mom was saying, knock it off. No. That's what the witness
okay, yeah, so then what? So then she hears so you hear your kid
around, she said.
So you're telling me, okay, and now we're gonna subtract the gorilla situation, all right? Because I know you have a child, all right? Your child's gonna say, "Hey, I'm gonna mess with this blowtorch. I'm gonna mess with this blowtorch. Are you gonna look for a blowtorch and make sure that there's no blowtorch that
we gotta get something that's a little bit different, because I could physically pick up the blowtorch and put it, you know, in my garage. So we got to get something a little bit. You got to get a different analogy.
I'm gonna jump out the window. I'm gonna jump out the window.
Close the window.
All right. Yes. Okay. But even if.
But you're also making dinner. You're also making dinner.
You're right.
The zoo is
but I'm
definitely
not advocating for the parents.
The zoo is definitely at fault here too. But here's the thing, like the zoo is getting like multiple lawsuits. I didn't see the video. I didn't hear a whole lot about the thing, but
it was all over my Facebook.
It
was all over everybody's Facebook. I'm sure anyone that's listened to this that is on social media saw about this story. But here's the thing: as the father of a new child, my child's life is way more important than the life of a gorilla.
That's what I'm saying. What is the alternative? What could they have done differently?
If you cared that much, you wouldn't have had your kid in that.
Okay.
Oh, I just dropped the F-bomb, but you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even catch that, but you definitely did.
Yeah, I just did that.
But anyway, okay, so fine, the parents are guilty, but just because the parents are guilty doesn't mean a 4-year-old has to die. So yeah, fine, tar and feather the parents, whatever. But what would be the alternative? So the parents, I'm not saying they failed. They made a mistake. I don't know all the details. I'm not going to say they failed as parents. But for the sake of argument,
if your child ends up in a gorilla exhibit, you failed as a parent, especially with supervision.
I need to see more facts before I call a parent.
If you can't hold back a 4-year-old from trying to do what it wants to do, then what does that say about you?
I'm just all right,
how many tantrums have you had to thwart in public? You know, at stores or whatever with your child.
My daughter listens to me.
Okay. All right. So then exactly. So if you're in a public place, all right, you go to an amusement park, okay? All right.
But if
you keep a more keen eye on where your daughter goes.
But my daughter, if I mess up, yeah.
Because you value her life that much that you want to keep an extra point.
I don't know the child's name, and I still value their life. The child shouldn't die because of a gorilla. It's an animal. It's a wild animal. I don't care that much about it.
Any parent out there, and I can now say this from a point of like an objective or subjective, whatever the word is, perspective. Any momentary lapse of judgment shouldn't cost you or your child their life.
But it should cost somebody or something else's life.
It's a gorilla.
Well,
man.
if it comes to an animal,
it's a
the
gorilla.
animal-
Okay, all right. So let me put it in this type of thing. Okay, I'm
He
gonna.
shouldn't
All
have
right,
been killed.
all right. I'm
He
gonna
was
put it.
being
John,
a
let me-
normal gorilla.
Like,
But he had to die.
Let me
separate-
let me put it to you very, very simply. I have a 90-pound pit bull at home. Okay, I have a big dog. Now
That
my
dog scares the hell out of me.
he doesn't like strangers, but if I ever see or hear the dog growl or bark, my dog loves my son. He can't stop licking him.
They're nanny dogs.
He's excessive with it.
No, his dog has bitten me many times.
Yeah, they're nanny dogs. Though.
But if my dog bites or growls at my son once, he's gone. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna shoot him, but
Well, you don't need to, though. It's not a gorilla. You can
he's
kick
not.
the dog.
He's not an 800-pound gorilla. Gorillas are way bigger and way stronger than any dog
Okay.
I've ever seen. But that happens once, and my wife and I agree on that. That dog is gone. He's gone in
Okay.
a second because my son's life is way more important than any dog. You can replace dogs. I know. I mean, I've had pets before. There's definitely a deep emotional attachment to pets, but you're talking about a gorilla. You're talking about a wild animal. Yeah, you go to the
That
zoo.
was put into an exhibit, a pseudo habitat of its,
But that's
natural
just
being.
zoos in general.
So
That's just zoos in general.
so
You can't blame the parents for
knowing that you're going into a dangerous area. Remember? All right. Did any of you guys go
Zoos
to?
aren't
You ever
supposed
go
to
to what?
The zoo is
The zoo's not. The zoo is supposed to be a place for children.
The zoo is also like I said before. The zoo is.
How many times have you gone to a zoo where the kids are up against the glass, like trying to taunt the animals and things, and trying to break down the glass?
But
Then
that's
stop.
fine,
Then
though.
stop your
They're
kid,
not-
but they shouldn't cost your child's
And your
life.
kid can't.
So then maybe
break
your
down the
child.
gorilla
So then
glass.
maybe as
They
a parent,
can't.
you
The gorilla-
No.
don't take your child to that exhibit until they are old enough to appreciate it.
Yes, and you're right. That's fine. But I'm talking about the parents suck, tar and feather them. But
Dude, I was.
still don't deserve
Do not,
I-
do not,
all right.
do not take their child's
Okay,
life.
I got two things to kind of add to this. All right, I was one of those wild childs that was all over the place.
we
Okay,
were definitely-
you know what? You know what they put? They tethered me with a freaking child leash. All right.
My mom totally used to do that. I
All
took
right.
pictures of
So
I have
so
one
so
for my
my
daughter.
parents,
Around
my
because
parents
it's
knowing
she loves it.
my parents knowing of my behavior and how I am out in public, they took precautionary steps to make sure that I
they
never
still
left their
don't
sight.
Deserve to die. I'll say fine.
I don't
parents
think
are bad.
anyone deserves to die.
But someone would have. The parents, fine, terrible parents.
They could've-
but
yeah.
their child should.
They didn't. The thing that made me the most mad is that they didn't even try to sedate him
Well,
before
they're saying that
putting
he
the
would've wigged
bull.
out. They saying
Yeah,
he wouldn't have
John,
gone out
yeah.
quick enough.
It
Like I
takes
was saying
5 to
before
10.
the
It takes
pod.
5 to 10 minutes for that sedation period.
If I shoot you, if I shoot you with a tranquilizer dart, that would be the ratio from like a human person to like an 800-pound gorilla. If I shoot you with a tranquilizer dart, either in your leg or in your neck or wherever you shoot it, your initial reaction, you're not gonna get shot with a dart and pass out immediately. You're gonna get shot
Watch
with a
Old
dart,
School.
and you're gonna go. If they shot that gorilla with a tranquilizer dart, that gorilla would have went into a fit of rage, and who knows what might have happened. And you're talking.
Everybody
about,
keeps
you're
saying,
talking
"Who
about-
knows?"
Wait.
What is the alternative?
Weigh the like. What is more valuable here in the grand scheme of things? What is more valuable, a child's life or a gorilla?
I want to say.
No,
you
I'm
just
kind
said-
of biased.
Then you
here
know
because
what?
I
Then
have
then you know
children.
what? Then the family
or I have
and
a
that child, when it becomes old enough, will stand charges for wrongful death on that gorilla. Then there needs to be repercussions for your actions.
Cannot
He
send
trespassed.
a
He trespassed.
4-year-old
He
when
trespassed.
they're 18.
He trespassed.
Yeah, but and that charge would go on to the parents. That's fine. A 4-year-old is not responsible for his own actions. That falls
Okay.
directly.
So
on
then
the
those parents have
fine.
trespassing
Yeah,
charges.
Okay, fine. Felony trespassing, animal now I can't say. I'd go.
It's
fine.
animal cruelty.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It is not animal cruelty. If my child
If you are
is
invading
danger,
somebody's home,
I will.
It's
It's
breaking
not
and entering.
somebody.
Who
It's not somebody.
shot the
It's
gorilla?
not a
That-
home
Who shot the
invasion.
gorilla?
It
Was it a
Yeah, it is a home. It's called a habitat.
Was it a zoo?
But it's a
was it
wild
someone? Was it a
animal.
zoo employee that
It's
shot? the
not a
gorilla?
wild animal. It's an animal in containment
Doesn't matter. It grabbed the child, dragged it through the water.
because the child got away from its parents
in the tank
who had
trying
poor
to get killed by
supervision.
the gorilla so somebody else could go get my baby. Like, that's what I'd have been doing.
I don't want to be this person.
All those people there were
I don't wanna
distracting
be-
him and making him more concerned for the child's life. If you actually watch the video,
But
I don't
still,
want to be this person because before I was a parent, I got the impression that most people that were parents talk down to people that aren't parents, and I don't want to be that person. But here's the thing: when you have a child, you would do anything to defend that child to make sure nothing bad ever happens to them.
So then you would
talking
watch
about-
them
you're
if they were
talking
at the
about-
zoo.
You're talking about an 800-pound gorilla and like a 50-pound 4-year-old
okay,
child.
and you're
That-
talking, yeah,
that
and
you brought into this
that
world.
crawled through bushes and climbed and came down a
a
wall.
momentary lapse
You
in
know,
judgment
like
not cost you
straight
your
up
child's
parkour style to go into that exhibit.
Eric Clapton's son crawled out a window and fell to his death when he was a baby.
Correct.
Out of his home. Every single song Eric Clapton has
Here
written
in heaven
is about that. I don't think that, I mean, I'm pretty sure Eric Clapton, like, that was the absolute biggest tragedy that could ever happen.
Most
But
definitely.
just because, now it had something to do with the nanny or something, and they didn't know the window was open. I don't remember. But that's still horrible. Like, they dropped the ball for a second. The kid still shouldn't have died. They hadn't. If they would have had an opportunity to stop Clapton's baby from crawling out the window, they would have. So in this scenario, they did have an opportunity. They came late. The child should have been stopped first, but that all failed. Then when push comes to shove, they had to do what they had to do. And the thing that really gets me on this subject, really gets me heated about this subject, is this is all over my Facebook. There are so many more important issues.
Most definitely.
I'm sorry. Like, there's people getting ready to go to war. There's people who would be co-hosts on this show if they weren't in the military and stationed in other countries and did 3 tours of Afghanistan, and people want to send them back, but people are more concerned about a gorilla being killed. Yeah, that sucks for the gorilla. I'm not saying die gorilla, but when push comes to shove, human life has got to be valued above everything else. There's so many more important problems. And the same thing, I think the same thing with all that PETA crap. All right, I know it's your money. Do whatever you want with it. I don't hate animals, but if I had money, if I had Pamela Anderson money, my money be going to the homeless. My money be going to cancer. My money be going to Detroit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
To AIDS
I don't
research,
really
stuff
care
like
about
that.
a panda. I don't. It sucks if they all die. I know it's a delicate ecosystem, but human life has to be valued more than
No, it
any
doesn't. No, because
Yes,
we are reproducing at alarming rates, and we're destroying habitats that were that were here before us. And if that's the case, then I guess the genocide
So
of
you
the
view
Native
the-
Americans wasn't that bad either.
What? The Native Americans were
oh.
actually people.
Oh, see,
They were
see,
people.
no.
They were not animals. They were people. They were.
You can tie this.
I have respect for all life. In
can
that
totally
sense.
tie-
Yes, me too. But
But
I value
I
human life
can't,
more.
I can't
could
put anything
totally-
else on a pedestal.
You could. I'm
Regardless
sorry.
of the
I had
mammal
a
thing.
thought,
So you're
and I had to
saying-
say, I had to say, you could tie this totally into the cops that pull out their gun and shoot unarmed people without warning. Now you're talking about a police officer who's shooting another person. You're not talking about a child in the hands of a very unpredictable 800
animal.
pounder.
But how did that child get there?
The child still shouldn't die.
How
It
did
doesn't
the child
matter.
get there?
It doesn't matter. If
The child didn't belong in there.
The same way
Nobody else
the same
got in
way
there.
Anyone that is a victim of police brutality and
Wrong place, wrong time.
what the hell is the term I'm looking for? Yeah, just abuse of power.
Did Michael Jackson drop his
excessive
baby into
force
the gorilla thing?
should not die. Neither should a child whose parents, now like we've said a million times.
What about the black child that died in Florida, thought it was in
definitely have to
wrongful
get a
death?
finger pointed at them, but that doesn't mean that the child's life is less.
What about the black
significant
child
than
that got
the
killed with
gorilla's
Skittles and an Arizona tea in his pocket?
Do you think that I think a gorilla should die before a baby? So do you think I'm going to say this kid should have been killed? I don't think the cops should be able to kill anyone. Don't get me started on the cops.
See,
But
so
I don't
let's put this now in just in the people things, because obviously we're having differing opinions on
But wait, I gotta ask you
respect of
this.
life.
With what you're saying,
Yeah.
you're flat out out saying that I want to hear, okay, John, they don't shoot the gorilla. What do they do?
What do they do? You attempt the tranquilizer thing. The child shouldn't have been in that type of situation to begin with.
We
Not
already
be
covered
punished
that.
for it.
You already covered that. You tranquilize the gorilla. The gorilla is not just going to get shot
Well,
with a
so what
dart
happens if
and
the
fall
gorilla-
asleep.
Then that
so
happens.
They trank it, and then they beat the crap out of the kid. The kid dies. It's vicious. It's on camera. There's blood, gore,
What
guts,
are we
parents
saying?
screaming,
What are we saying
children
if
scarred.
what are we saying if the zoo actually went in there and tranked the gorilla?
That's what I'm saying.
And the kid still got beat up by the gorilla
And died. That's what I'm saying.
What are we
Exactly.
then?
But what if it? But
then
what if
are
it
we
didn't?
pointing- We're going to say gorillas
It's
are
not worth the gamble.
Gorillas are terrible creatures. Like,
Oh, and humans aren't.
no, they are. But this is not the same thing as human versus human. This is
Oh no, it is. It
Let me
is.
ask you this, right?
Yeah.
If I come up to a mama bear's cub, right? What's gonna happen to me?
You gonna get mauled to death because you an idiot
Exactly.
messing with that
And
baby's
that's
mom.
basically
You know?
what happened, except we can't fist fight a friggin' gorilla. And
So then just like how you don't go to bad areas where you would need a gun to
Children
protect
go to the
yourself.
zoo.
it is.
Children
It's
go to the zoo.
Yeah,
It's not.
and
like
then you
John,
supervise your kid at the zoo.
It's not like these people were going to Africa to seek out gorillas. It's in a zoo. You're supposed to be in a safe environment.
I mean, I went to zoos when I was
Yeah, as long as
3,
you stay within the guidelines where they have everything
But
roped
regardless,
off and everything.
me
That
ask
kid
you
had
this.
to go through a fence, crawl through bushes, and fall down a wall into the water in order to get to in that
So, John,
position.
because the 4-year-old didn't know what he was doing,
Because
he
his-
should have died.
That's
That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. All right, now let me ask you this: drunk driver. All right, drunk driver comes out, hits vehicular manslaughter, person dead on the scene. Are we gonna give do we give the DUI guy the death penalty?
They call that vehicular manslaughter, which I
And
know
you
a
do
bunch of
not
people.
get the-
Yeah, you don't get the death penalty. No,
All right, so he
'Cause they'll say accidental death.
He knew, but they'll still go to jail.
Correct,
But
they'll still go-
he
but it will
knew.
be labeled
the
as an
drunk
accidental
driver-
death.
The drunk driver knew he was drunk, got behind the wheel, kind of like the kid saying, "I'm going in." That's the kid drinking the beer. Then the guy gets behind the wheel. That's the kid crawling through the bushes. Then the drunk driver hits and kills the pedestrian, and that's where the kid falls in.
Like I said, my eyesight
We
with
don't kill
things.
the drunk driver, why should we
Eyesight
kill
with
the
things
kid?
with common sense. I don't think with my heart. I think with my brain.
How could you say you're thinking, dude?
'Cause,
There's
you
no
know-
way a friggin' gorilla is valued more. Is a gorilla valued more than your sister's life? Is a gorilla valued more than your
If
mother's
if my sister
What if
crawled
your
through
sister
the
got
exhibit,
drunk? What if she got drunk standing on the rail and fell in?
Then
Knowing she deserves to die. Save the gorilla. Let your sister die.
if you are that dumb, then
Yo, your sister listens to this.
yeah, I know my sister listens to this, and she knows that I keep it real to a flaw. If you are stupid enough to put yourself into a situation where you put your life in jeopardy and something happens, then yes, it's going to happen. I'm sorry. There's your Darwin Award for being dumb.
I don't know.
You know, but you know, if you want to translate it to people's terms, then I'm just gonna bust up in people's houses, make whatever I want, you know, and then as soon as they get angry with me, I'm gonna shoot them.
It's an animal.
We are animals.
Yeah, but this is a wild animal.
We're wild animals.
Are the gorillas voting on president right now?
No.
Are the gorillas trying to end the jungle war?
No. Because actually, unfortunately, that gorilla showed more empathy for that child than the parents did.
No.
I watched that video again. Then that's all.
No.
You know, but honestly, parents, that kid would have never been
Dude,
put into
you are
that.
dropping bombs.
Oh well, you know.
Like a mother-
But you know, if they weren't crappy parents, that child would have never been put into a situation like that. And you know, honestly, you
But the
can
child
hate.
still didn't deserve to die.
No child deserves to die. But you know what? If you're gonna be in a position, if you go out into the ocean, right, and you have your kid trying to hold a fish for a picture, and then a shark comes and bites his hand off. Guess what? You're an idiot because you were having him hold the fish out by the dang ocean, knowing pointing at that. So you know what? Use common sense before you do things, guys. All right? How about that? All right? How about that? Exercise a little more self-control of yourself and the things that you procreated for, because it's not the community's responsibility to take care of your offspring.
It's not, but I would do it in a heartbeat. I will help out anybody, especially a child. But we're gonna let this music play out. Some Generation X, Billy Idol singing before he was Billy Idol.
Don't get me wrong, I love kids, but you know.
I don't think so. I disagree.
I like kids.
Sean, you coming back to say bye?
Yeah.
We're getting out of here with some Gen X. All right.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a good show.
You know, I respect kids and all, but you gotta, but as parents, you have to exercise a little more, common sense when you're going out to places. If you're going out to a public place, you have to have backup plans, and you have to find ways to make sure that your child stays in your sight at all times. And it also falls into the lines of who gives a crap who's taking a crap next to you, if it's a man, woman, or anything. People are all up in arms about kids in the
Show,
bathroom.
and now you're getting into transgender.
You know what?
For next time.
Yeah, maybe next time.
All right. But Sean, you got anything before we get out of here?
No, I got nothing.
All right, guys. I had fun. Thanks. Go check out Colin's little event. Mad beer. A couple days long. Go check it out. Go check out all the sponsors. voiceofbedlam.com. For Sean, Connor, and the Devil. My man, Devil John. I'm Andrew Bedlam, and we're getting the hell out of here.
I wasted it with my gun.
All right, how's everybody doing out there today? Thanks for tuning in to this special edition Voice of Bedlam podcast. If you want to take that next jump with your business or company, you need to come over and advertise on the Voice of Bedlam podcast. Get your ad heard by thousands on a reoccurring basis. Just click buy now and send us your info. Thanks a lot, guys.